Empty backfield for Atlanta on first down, and it's Robinson. You heard from him with Megan moments ago. And he picks up the Falcons' first down out across the 45. Second down at 5, fake to Robinson. And now it's Robinson who makes the catch out of the backfield. Picks up the Falcons' first down and more. Still going inside the 10. Touchdown!
Right out the gate, Kenny. Right out the gate. Bijan Robinson's the first option on 2 of their 3 plays, and he gets them the touchdown. Just look at how...
Algier in the backfield. Now Robinson shifts into the backfield. And he's the recipient of the pass from Penix. Bijan Robinson, who has the game's first touchdown. Robinson. Ooh. Good second effort. Out to the 40. Picks up a couple.
He worked out, trained a little differently this offseason. You can see the explosion immediately came off the field with that first touchdown.
There's Robinson on second down. Gain of 3. Megan. On fourth down, it is Robinson, and he will not get there.
Yeah, I don't like the play calling.
Hey, 5-4, Jay. 5-4, Jay.
Second down and 8. It's Robinson. We had a great chat with Michael Penix Jr. as well. You know, he grew up in Tampa.
As we've seen, he can be the first option for Michael Penix.
Fake to Algier.
As he is right
caught.
there.
Nice move by Robinson, and then he gets tripped up down at the 21-yard line. During the offseason, both lending their advice. Here's Robinson. And a flag comes in at the end of the run.
And congrats to Michael Vick. Got his first victory as a college head coach yesterday. And it makes sense. Amon-Ra St. Brown, their game is very similar. Different body types, but he catches the ball same way that Amon-Ra does.
Robinson on 1st and 15. Third down and 10. Falcons must get to the 29 for a first down, and they do. Robinson makes the catch. All the way down inside the Buccaneers' 15-yard line.
Oh, Savassier Dennis is playing with fire. He's one-on-one with Bijan Robinson. And look at Penix's eyes, waiting for Bijan to finally clear the space. As soon as he...
From the 15, the give to Robinson. Stays on his feet and takes it down to the 10. On first down, it's Robinson, and he will lose yardage on the play.
Savassier Dennis.
From the Bucs 24. Robinson met by Dennis. High snap. Penix hands it off. It's Robinson. They can't bring him down. Finally, London in motion. Second and 4. Here's Robinson. Down inside the 2. Here we go. First and goal. From the Bucs 1. 3 Falcons in the backfield. The handoff to Bijan Robinson. Looks to turn the corner. And he's hit by McCollum, who has returned. Injured moments ago.
Haven't heard much from Yaya Diaby either in the pass rush.
From the 34. Penix dumps it off. Bijan Robinson. Remember, no timeouts for Atlanta. Clock continues to run.
Pistol, Bijan Robinson running left through a tackle. Robinson accelerating, and there goes Robinson. Tracked down from behind at the 40 by Theo Jackson, but a big gain right out of the gate for the star back for the Falcons.
This is it. This is their play. This outside zone play. All the linemen come down the line. And Mike, they were terrible running the football a week ago, and it really cost them a game. They have to get beat.
25 yards, one more than he had all game against Tampa last Sunday. He's got it again. He'll try it to the right, and he's got room again. Robinson into the secondary. 16 more yards. Darnell Mooney back in the lineup. He's the motion man. Run 3 for Robinson. Still a good one inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 2nd and 5. 4th run. Robinson can't get to the outside that time. They go for it here, don't get it. Great opportunity for the Falcons at the Vikings 36. After the hot first drive, right back to Robinson with the shoulder into the corner. Byron Murphy. Back in the red zone to the 15-yard line. Penix out to Robinson. Bijan Robinson did such a good job. Who is the quarterback now? Takes over at the 23. Bijan Robinson goes up to the 30-yard line, gain of about 7.
He was brilliant, threw the heck out of the ball, and we knew we had something special.
2nd and 3. This run by Robinson for a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and 1. Here's Melissa. Just in time. Renard got hit by 2 guys coming off the edge. One of them, Bijan Robinson, who's got some room to run. Will be 5 yards shy of the first down as he's knocked out just past the 41-yard line. A great opportunity for Michael Penix Jr. and the Falcons have outplayed the Vikings in this first half. Only lead by 3 as this Robinson runs to the 35. Bijan Robinson cuts it upfield and gets very close to the first down as Ivan Pace brings him down.
Completely different D-line right now for the Vikings.
From the 21, here is Bijan running inside, staying up, not down with a body part as he spun on a body and makes it a 9-yard gain out of the gate. And he's rushed for 81 yards thus far tonight. And trying to add to it here with a first down at the 32-yard line. So Bijan Robinson. Getting loud, 2nd and 15. And they use Robinson with that cut and the deep and the move. Collision at the 27-yard line. Robinson through space and into the secondary to the 22-yard line. That's 18 that time. It puts Bijan over 100 yards rushing tonight.
So here once again, you're going to see Charlie Warner come right through. These guys are getting upfield so fast that if they don't clog it up on the initial contact with the blitz there by Pace, there are gaps. It's like, you know.
Keep feeding Robinson. One tackle, spins for a couple. So you keep hearing say Bijan Robinson, right? So it is.
And we say, well, you explain it to mom and grandma.
Exactly. Penix flushed left, and the lefty fires to the sideline and finds Bijan. It's his name, so let him say it over and over and over until you get it right. Lindstrom and the offense back out there with Bijan Robinson as the running back. They'll go to the left for a couple of yards. Robinson at 117 now. And Atlanta's done a great job here tonight. The 38, can they turn one of these into a score? Bijan Robinson was thinking that, just got pulled down before galloping into the secondary. Robinson bouncing to the outside. Pushed away from one, but not Dallas Turner, but it is enough for the first down. With a road win here in Minnesota. Up 9.5 to go. Robinson left. Chuck hang on to the ball. As reaching for it was Eric Wilson. He's going to set up a big third down here. 3rd and 7. They'll run it. Robinson going to bounce it. Got away from 3 tackles. Put his head down and got within a half yard of the first down.
First down for Atlanta at the 26. With Robinson getting the call. Cracks helmets across the 30. Bijan Robinson. Fake it to McLeod. Penix rolls to his left. Hits Robinson underneath, and he'll scamper out of bounds for a first down, a gain of 10. Get a big one in week 1, 50-yard touchdown reception. On first down, Penix hits Robinson again, who is knocked out of bounds by Merrick, leading tackler for the Panthers this season. Penix keeps it short with Robinson, who has the first down and more. Robinson across midfield. And he's into plus territory, pushed out by Nick Scott. There's the first big one of the afternoon, a gain of 25.
Now this is really interesting because you're expecting all your receivers to block. They're going to come out and motion to trips, and then they're going to take Bijan and shove him out there. And what I want to show you is this. Stop it right there. 1, 2, 3 guys blocked. You have 3 guys blocked with Robinson.
Hand off for Robinson. And Robinson nearly broke free.
Mike Jackson did a great job. Well, that's 6.
Robinson again. Up the middle.
Oh, he has such good runner's patience.
First down for Atlanta at their own 22. Pitch it to Robinson. And Robinson rounds the corner, still with running room along the sideline. And a first down for Atlanta. Sarah. So's a newcomer with Casey Washington out. Robinson picks up the first down, muscles his way near midfield.
Let's see if the game plan changes a little bit.
Hand off to Robinson here.
Yep, he's just getting the first down.
Had signed a 4-year, $180 million contract, where they then drafted Penix. Robinson comes back to the ball, makes the catch. Maybe a gain of 2 here. Mike Jackson, nice form tackle. Cousins to Robinson, who's met in the flat.
Yeah, they got to get it. That number 2 receiver, if they're going levels.
Robinson in the backfield, they will work out of the pistol to open up. The give to Robinson, patience, and he's down at the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 5. Robinson sets up behind Penix. It's Robinson again. Robinson, the zigzag move for the first down. His ability to cut on a dime is elite. That's 9 yards. Ultimate praise. He said he could be the best running back in the NFL. His cuts are crazy. Robinson again. Robinson, the shifty move. 2 on the season. Commanders are 2-1. Open up this drive at the 27. Pitch it to Robinson. He's got a blocker, turns the corner, and then veers towards the sideline.
Sideline. You saw it after the first series, guys. Spent time with Penix Jr., but also touch base with wide receivers, offensive line, every position group.
And Robinson is going to get the first down. Won't go down. So pistol formation here for Atlanta. Need a yard to move the chains. Motion man is Warner. Give it to Robinson. He's not going to go down on first contact. London is on the sideline. Penix on 3rd and 3. He will throw it, and it's on time for Robinson. First down. Give it. Robinson squeezes through and carries to the 5. Pistol formation with Robinson. Give it to him. Bijan with the mustard. Touchdown. Falcons add to their lead.
The mustard. You've been waiting for that one. I like it.
They came in with the 2nd highest drop rate in the NFL so far in this young season. Just one that I can remember, Ray McLeod early. Penix will throw it. In stride. Robinson. Bijan Robinson gets caught from behind. He nearly goes the distance. Jeremy Reeves gets there.
Bijan out of the backfield, and there's just some traffic that gets Bobby Wagner caught up. And that allows Michael Penix Jr. time to swing the ball out in a massive 69-yard.
Penix. High throw. It's handled by Robinson. Showing off the full repertoire. 3rd down and 2. Penix, that was easy to Robinson, and he drives across the 30-yard line. Just working on his explosiveness, and then pool work, working on his breathing. Hard cut. Robinson slowed down. Robinson backpedals for a 1st down. 31-24 Falcons. Robinson stutter step. Bijan Robinson leans forward for 5.
Robinson sent out to the right. And now comes in motion. And gets it on the end around with some momentum. Bijan gets downhill in a hurry and bangs down to the 21 before Christian Benford stopped him. Unsettling start, even though the fumble didn't count, and just 2 touches for Robinson. Penix from the pocket across the middle. Big shot delivered on Bijan as he made the catch. Picked up 8, but paid for it. Epinesa hit him. Robinson motions back to the pistol and has it. Cutting back and lowers the shoulder. I guess the scouting report on Penix saying is if you can take away his first read.
Second most dangerous weapon in Drake London.
He's the first dangerous weapon. Bijan Robinson still running hard, dragging tacklers down inside the 10. Robinson shows the quickness and the power in one run.
Just look at the left guard, number 65, Matthew Bergeron. Just watch him right here. Watch him climb and just clear it out. I mean, if you're Bijan Robinson, you're going, hey, I can cut off of that easy. I mean, if you're Terrell Bernard, if you're Taylor Rapp, if you're...
Here's Penix, a 1st and 5. Robinson off the right side, breaks free. Bijan Robinson spinning down the sideline, still going. Can they catch him? They cannot. Touchdown, Falcons, 81 yards. Speed and power and moves. Cole Bishop had a chance. Bijan said,
Just watch the interior 3, okay?
Robinson again. And now to the 15, right near the marker. Spot him just short. And this 3rd down, Penix again has a little time. Robinson on the bobble. It came out wobbly as that time they did get near the quarterback. Marcus Ingram in a corner. You saw Benford walk off. Bijan hits the hole quickly. Darts forward 1st down. Our first possession of the half for Penix, and the Falcons darn near unstoppable in the 1st half. And there's Bijan up the left side, still driving. They get him down after about an 8-yard gain. Peter? Wear and tear mounting on both sides. Meanwhile, Robinson, hesitation enough to move the 6 and get this drive going. Didn't have it in the first series of this half. Bijan to the right as a crease. Robinson makes a cut and is knocked down from behind, but rips off 11.
And give your defensive line a shot to get to the quarterback.
Fake to Robinson. Now they throw it to him. Blockers on the edge. Bijan makes a move. Dancing back and forth. Bijan still alive. Still running. Down in the red zone. The electric number 7.
That's just unbelievable. Well, how many? He made what? 5 missed tackles in this run alone.
This is outstanding. It's a play action pass screen. You get him out in space. 2,
3, 4, 5. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
It's a really good job.
Try to get their offense going. Very quiet 3rd quarter. Bijan can get noisy in a hurry, though.
Now you're almost inside of 6 minutes. This is where the money's made.
Penix throws it. Robinson on the edge shows that burst of speed. He only had 50 yards in their first 16 plays of the half. Couple of punts and a blocked field goal. That's it after the break. Pass rush comes at him, and Penix flips it out there to Robinson. They left him alone, and Bijan makes him pay. Penix just got that off before the rush arrived, and they pick up 23. It's a play to remember as Atlanta tries to seal this.
There you go.
Screen. Bijan. Had to go down low. It had been deflected at the line there by Epinesa, so it got there slowly and allowed the pursuit to catch up to Robinson. Robinson back in the game. Bills crowd the line. Robinson tries to run to the right, finds space, runs through a tackle, and a nice chunk on first down.
Begins from the 22. Niners back onside as Robinson runs right for 3. Robinson, the motion man, looking that way, throw it to Bijan. He's got it. Where's the spot? Got to get to the 32-yard line. He's ruled out of bounds just shy of it. Backs it up to 1st and 20. And Robinson tackled inside by Tatum Bethune. I mentioned Fred Warner and his injury suffered last week in the loss at Tampa Bay. To Robinson, got a good block. Bijan able to get the first down at the 44-yard line as Atlanta has built a nice drive here. Robinson. Cut, foot in the ground, got forward. Mooney in motion at the top on 2nd and 10. Penix, every look is covered. Penix has a lot of space to his right and throws on the run complete. Good job to come back and get it. A lot of folks taken out there on the sideline. Rules analyst Terry McCauley plays 16 of this second drive of the game for the Falcons. And to their guy, Bijan Robinson at the 17-yard line. Great field position to start for the Falcons. At the Niners 48, counter, Robinson left, Bijan hit it hard, gets a half dozen. Wagner, Robinson to the 10, and a gain of 8 on first down. Charlie Werner, 89, essentially plays so much fullback role for this Falcons team. Next to Penix and protecting Robinson, edge, first down, Bijan Robinson, touchdown Atlanta. Oh, the speed and power of Robinson for 6.
We have seen this in the program machine and use it so often. Right out here, they just flank the running back like he's out wide. Sometimes
held more in check tonight. He's got 72 yards on 16 touches. Here's touch 17 with a block and a first down to the 39-yard line and 15 to the Robinson total.
all you're doing is playing the odds, right? You have 2 blockers in front of this play, and you have Bijan Robinson. So it's 3-on-2, but it's not a fair fight. It's just not. Because when you leave just one person in open...
Trying to tie or take the lead here in the 4th. Michael Penix Jr., Bijan Robinson cuts back to the inside and gets to the 35-yard line.
No first quarter touchdowns allowed by the Dolphins now. 5 consecutive games. They go outside, 1st and 10. Robinson grabbed by Brooks, wrestled out of bounds. They had some scoring issues, especially in the red zone. 2nd and 7, a bolt by Robinson down to the 25.
So far, that's carried through here as he's 5 of 6 to start this game off.
It's 3rd and 10. Robinson gets the call, and down he goes. Brooks on him, and Miami stops him. Rasul Douglas jumping on him, too, at the 7, gain of 4. Bijan Robinson is the back, and Cousins will give it to one of the best running backs in the NFL. Dragged down inside, Jordan Phillips, rookie Maryland. Bijan Robinson, 7 carries, 19 yards. It's 1st and 10. It goes to Robinson. Trying to get a block, and Matthews provides. He gets another block downfield from Hodge, and he takes the ball into the grasp of Melifonwu. And down to the Miami 19-yard line, a 17-yard catch and run.
Well, they use him in so many different ways in the passing game. This is just your traditional screen to the outside. I just love his patience. You see, instead of just taking off and running, they've scored more points today than they have all season long. The defense.
With a 2nd down and 5, and up the middle he goes, and that'll be shy of the 1st. Robinson is waylaid by Dobson. 3rd down, 1, and they convert right there with Robinson picking and poking his way to the 32.
We thought it was all about the Super Bowl team back in 01.
On 1st down, Bijan Robinson fields it, and Robinson picks up 2 on the play. 1st down and 10 for Penix. Robinson in motion, takes the handoff. And Bijan Robinson runs right into Jack Gibbons. And they got him on a 1-year, $3 million contract. Robinson, nice catch along the sideline. Penix looking for Robinson. He's got him at the 9-yard line. Robinson first down, nudged out of bounds, just shy of the pylon.
Before New England gets the football back.
Here's Robinson on first down, runs right into his own man, but then that second effort gives him 5 yards. Robinson again. And nice running by Bijan Robinson. Stretching out to the 47-yard line, 15 yards for the third-year back out of Texas.
And we have two teams that really have no problem with bringing receivers in to insert and block. Drake London.
Here's Robinson on first down, and Bijan out to the 20-yard line. A quick pass to Robinson. Takes a block from Pitts, and maybe gets a yard before Landry slams him down. Penix, and he's got Bijan Robinson, and that's what the Patriots worked on all week. Penix for Robinson again, and they've got the first down. Either way, critical error there by Atlanta, having to use a timeout as Robinson running left, stutter step by Bijan, and then brought down on the play. On second down, Penix. Oh, what a catch with one hand! Bijan Robinson with one for the highlight reel. A first down and a gain of 9. How about that?
And we're at that stage of game where you've got to have it too, right? You need to make these type of plays to have your team have an opportunity. Down by 1 touchdown, has Marcus Jones on his back and goes up and
Penix, tough pass. Robinson makes another acrobatic catch, but the Patriots are ready for him, led by Carlton Davis.
And Caleb Williams, you always have a little chip on your shoulder.
Here's his opportunity now in his backyard.
Bijan Robinson breaks a couple of tackles, almost was able to sneak free to the second level to run for 50 yards in a game this year. Back to Bijan. He's got the first down.
And now Michael Penix Jr. and company take over from the 27. And here is their top back, Bijan Robinson, with an excellent run to start Atlanta's offensive day. 43 yards in 2 plays. Now Bijan Robinson with a good first down run. They were in a lot of 3rd and longs last week. It was a rough week for Atlanta against New England, a very good New England defense.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on top of team schedule, and certainly it's been a whirlwind of a week, but he wasn't going to miss this game. Love the matchups.
Robinson runs this one, stays out of bounds, and Gardner on that side of the field. Right back to Bijan Robinson, and he pushes ahead. I'll set up second down. Robinson is lined up wide at the top. Smoke screen for Robinson, who got hit and juggled it and then recovered it after the Blackman delivery. Cover corners in the NFL since he came in 2022 and won Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's going to be a big part of this defense going forward. Robinson on the run. He gets brought down by Latu. He's averaging nearly 20 per. Robinson back in, good move, and he's able to advance forward down near the 15. Now they've got Werner in there as the lone tight end. Well, this is 22 personnel, or 21 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight end. And it's Robinson, one of those backs, picking up another Atlanta first down. Now right back to Bijan Robinson, who got a little bit of a breather. He runs it out to the 11-yard line. From the 23. Robinson. This is where he does most of his damage outside the tackles, getting to the sideline and run out by Bynum.
And press the line of scrimmage and make those 1 cuts is where he's so dangerous.
First a run to the left, now a run to the right, and a first down.
Exhibit A.
Now London motions outside against Gardner. Penix Under pressure from Grover Stewart. Being chased by multiple Colts and finds Robinson up the sideline. Picks up 8 yards there. Nice scramble by Penix. Going back to his time in Washington in college. It is Robinson. That ball came out momentarily, but he was already down.
6 out of 10 run plays are outside zone out of that pistol formation that they use more than anybody in the league. And it's another handoff to Robinson. But we expect both these teams are going to be pretty run heavy today. That's why unreal, just roaming 3. It's Robinson. And he breaks 2 tackles. Oh my! What a rugged run that was!
I mean, it looked like he was completely stopped. A nice low center of gravity. It's Mike Jackson. He gets the first shot in at it, but just doesn't give up.
Trevis Gibson was draped on his back, and it wasn't enough. Roseboom up to the line, and Penix will hand it to Robinson. And Bijan Robinson just powers his way into Nick Scott. I mean, if you're a secondary player. Robinson again showing patience, getting to the edge. Bijan Robinson to the 29.
And this is just all Bijan Robinson. This play was supposed to be designed to go to the front side. Instead, he has the vision to see the.
We've seen both teams adjust so far. We're tied at 7 after a quarter. Robinson, the motion man. And he absolutely surges through the hole.
Talk about that cat and mouse game between these two staffs. It's one of the things that has been a tendency breaker for them.
Robinson again, pinballing for a first down. I mean, how quickly do you become predictable in this league now, Brady? Now 2 backs, Robinson and Algier. We expected to see a little bit more of that today, and it's Robinson out of the backfield, swinging wide to him, and Bijan Robinson breaking tackles again into Roseboom, their leading tackler first that year, trying to get back to numbers in that stratosphere. Penix on a screen. It's Robinson. Had to wait for a second, and Robinson down to the 2. Wow. Grew up a Falcons fan. Atlanta here goes to Robinson, and an easy touchdown for the powerhouse Bijan Robinson.
We talked about it. See how he's in the pistol formation? Watch the cutback. They get the ball to him sooner. He is able to see the lane when nothing's there on the front side, and that's part of the reason for this pistol formation.
Yeah, the Falcons offense has it, and Robinson once again. He has been a dynamo today. It's 11 on a first down carry to move the sticks for the Falcons. Right back there. Right up the zipper, and he's got 4 to set up second down. Atlanta 3-6, Carolina 5-5, second place in the NFC South. They'll go Robinson before the 2-minute warning, and he skates through the hole. He sees it so well. Man, oh man, it's a gain of 8.
You got to kind of work your way into some sort of in-cut, deep dig, or just let's just hand the football off and go to halftime.
It's Robinson, and down he goes at the 31. You and a couple million people watching. It's a run. They got the jersey. Robinson's not down. He breaks a tackle, gets to the outside, and breaks it down. And that is how the first half ends.
That's exciting.
It is the 3rd touch of the second half for Robinson, and he finds his way to that 3rd level again. And it's second down coming up. So I want to ask you about that after the play here. But first down for Atlanta. It's Cousins throwing to Robinson. And Bijan Robinson down the sideline. So what can the receivers do to adjust? Michael Penix Jr. out of the game. Kirk Cousins on a stretch play to the right. And it's Robinson dragging for an extra yard. Horn got in there. Cousins. Robinson, catch and run. Nice ball placement for the catch and run from Cousins. Inside the 35, first down Atlanta. It is a stretch play. It is Robinson. We thought about carving it outside
a couple of weeks ago. Right back to Robinson. There's some of that cut ability that he's well known for. He'll pick up 4 as we check in with Carissa Thompson for a game break. And it's an under center snap for Kirk Cousins, giving it to Robinson. And he lunges out towards midfield. That's another one of the big changes. Cousins swings it out. Here's Robinson. This is where he's dangerous. In space. Sills a block. Robinson chased down. Finally brought down by the veteran Justin Reed. But it's first down and goal for Atlanta on a catch and run of 32 yards for Bijan Robinson.
When you talk to Brandon Staley and all of the Saints defenders, they talked about these jump cuts, bang, bang, where he's just foot in the ground.
Keep it with Robinson. What a cutback. First down. Bijan Robinson inside the 25-yard line. Good blocking by Pitts and a great cutback by Robinson for 12.
That's the infamous Bijan Robinson jump cut. Look, credit to the Saints. They bottled this thing up inside. But again, you have to contain the edges, certainly with a guy.
Saints back off. They bring just 4. Swing it out. Robinson, good job of holding on to it, and he stops the clock running out of bounds. 3rd and 7. Atlanta will keep it conservative here, but could pick up the first. Robinson gets very close. Mike Pereira on top of it as always. So 2nd and a quarter of the field. Robinson got some blockers in front, and he bursts through the alley, and he gets knocked down by Demario Davis, and they pick up all of that yardage back and then some. A 33-yard play for Bijan Robinson.
That's really a design screen to the right where they lure the defense in and then just get the ball.
Atlanta averaging 15 yards per play in those 8. There's Robinson, and he gets a good run on first down to the 33, grabbed by Jonas Sanker.
Second start of the season for the 14-year vet Cousins, handing it off to Robinson on first down. Out across the 30-yard line.
That's what's making him special this year.
3 tight ends on the field for the Falcons as Robinson picks up a first down.
And they're going to have to hold up in the run game if they have a chance to win this game.
Teammate of Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. Cousins hands it off. Here's Robinson. Gains 4 on first down. From the 34 on first down, the give to Robinson. And Robinson gains 9 out to the 43. 2nd down and 1. Robinson picks up the first.
Was the only player that reminded him of Bijan Robinson.
Right, his college teammate who had a terrific NFL career. And here's Robinson on cue across midfield and then finally tripped up. 26 for Robinson.
You're just going to watch the vision backside, right? He's running front side, but the vision backside is what sets it up, right? He sets up the blocks, and then he goes and he shoots out the gate backside, and that's how he gets open and gets those big yards. And that's where Kirk Cousins said him and Le'Veon Bell, not the same body type, but they have the same ability, right? They can do everything. You can line them up.
Robinson split out wide to the left.
As a first option. There he is.
Into the hands of Robinson. And he works his way down to the 37-yard line. Robinson picks up a Falcons first. So plays at Hofstra 94-97. Aaron Glenn was a player at the time with the New York Jets.
Herm Edwards, my head coach. He drafted me in 2004 as the one that brought Raheem Morris in.
Nice tackle.
Nice tackle.
This is the best starting field position for the Falcons. Robinson, first down out across midfield. Gain of 16.
And you're just going to see the patience of Bijan Robinson. They're running a trap play.
From the Jets 30, it's Robinson up the middle. Gain of 7 to the Jets 23. Now Robinson shifts into the backfield. Falcons have all 3 of their timeouts. The give to Robinson. Gain of 5 to the Jets' 15. Second down and 3 for Atlanta. Here's Robinson. Robinson out across the 30-yard line. Play action here. Cousins steps up, dumps it off. It's Robinson. First down and more. Robinson inside the 35. There's a flag as Cousins took a hit after getting rid of the football. So a big gain and then 15 yards added on at the end of the play.
This is the play action I was talking about. And it was just that he didn't have enough time to go deep, but it didn't matter. You can give the ball to Bijan Robinson and have no idea why nobody is on him. He's only the best player that the Atlanta Falcons have. And there is the penalty. Oh, yeah, that's a big shot Kirk Cousins took. And there he I just like he's either talking.
Third down and 2. The handoff, Robinson cuts to the outside and takes it in for a Falcons touchdown.
Just going to watch the blocking. David Sills goes, he seals the outside. Will McDonald can't get there. That jump cut to the outside.
He was the 4th overall pick by the Falcons back in 21. Robinson continues his big day. Forced out of bounds by Moore. After third down and 8. Here's Robinson, and he is met immediately. Brought down by Will McDonald. From the 26, Cousins swings it out to Robinson. Out across the 30. And we head west for a game break, Carissa. And the Falcons tied. Here's Robinson, first down, out across the 45.
He's in a good spot right now, a really good spot.
Julian Love out to start for Seattle, and Robinson into the arms of Ernest Jones. On third down, Cousins in a clean pocket finds Robinson, and Robinson out across the 35.
On that pass game component of you, he's even being afforded more opportunities than he thought.
And Robinson again. You get the idea with Atlanta. It's a lot of number 7. Easier said for some teams than others, especially when you have a guy like this to run the football. Bijan Robinson with a jump cut to the outside, little duck of the shoulders, and gets an extra yard or 2 up the sideline.
Has taken the field the last 4 games, and 3 of those 4 games an opportunity to close out, haven't been able to do it.
Bijan Robinson, that looked like it was going for negative yardage because DeMarcus Lawrence was on his hip.
And really capitalizing on those opportunities that present themselves.
Cousins sets up the screen for Robinson, makes the first man miss, but right into the arms of Devin Witherspoon, who's able to wrestle him down near the 31-yard line. With a name like Kobe Bryant, you can't avoid watching basketball. Worst start of the day for Atlanta. Bijan Robinson trying to help out that field position, and he's out to the 20. Sills in motion. Second down handoff. Robinson able to bounce it to the edge for the first down. Out to the 26. Here's Robinson out of the backfield, and out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. Second and 7. Robinson again looking for a space, somehow finds one, bounces to the outside, and he's got a first down.
Talk about the way that Mike McDonald has preached it to his team.
And if you're Atlanta, you're looking at a couple of those sequences and you're saying, it's 2 of our most reliable guys that faltered. Bijan Robinson, one of the best of the game.
You know, kind of seeing, what happens in those tight fits.
Here's Robinson up the middle, and Boye Mafe with the tackle at the 13.
He was going to be the mentor for Penix and was last year until the final 3 games of the season when Michael took over. Nice hole here and exploited, and that'll be a first down. Robinson. Robinson.
He and Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs, the best that there is.
Check it over to Robinson. There he is down the sideline. He goes, and that'll be a first down for the man with a flag thrown. Robinson back in the game on a 2nd and 7. takes it to the outside. He goes. Takes the ball into Bucs territory. Robinson to the 41-yard line. He goes. Back here, Al Michaels along with Kirk Herbstreit, Kaylee Hartung. Cousins on the 2nd and 12. Dumps it. Robinson, nice move, and Robinson takes it to the 35-yard line to set up 3rd and manageable. Broke away from Parrish. 3 field goals in their loss to the Seahawks at home. To the 24-yard line this time goes Robinson, flagged down. You want Carolina in between that Seattle. Bijan Robinson on a 1st down. Off he goes. But you've got a flag at the 43-yard line. They still don't get respect on AWS. I mean, these teams have the same record. Meanwhile, look at this run by Robinson on a 1st and 16, picks up 13, 2nd and 3.
Watch Ryan Newsel, the center here, the job that he does right in the middle, works over here as a kind of a double team, secures that block. This offensive line is very, very efficient. It's really led by the left tackle, Jake Matthews.
For the league's 4th leading rusher. Can he pick up some more? Yes, he does. They're trying to secure the division title and a home game in the playoffs. Pass here is caught and taken for close to a 1st down by Robinson. They took the 1st down away on the last play. Now it's 2nd down and inches as this drive resumes, and that picks up the 1st down there to the 47-yard line. Goes Bijan Robinson. They have all of their timeouts to the Falcons. From the 35, they begin this drive. Off the play fake, the pump fake underneath. They go to Bijan Robinson for a gain of 16 yards.
The best job they can in trying to get this field ready to go, but we're seeing these players when they change direction going down. Bijan Robinson, just a check down right there, right in front of him. Guy goes down. That's the wrong guy to do that against because of the way he accelerates, covers a lot of ground in a short period of time. So good job there. Been in his zone, continues to play well here in the 2nd half, get it started.
Crew had just 4 days to get the field in decent enough shape. Again, picking and threading his way in a nice gain of 5, and a good tackle is made on top of that there. Deep drop, pass is caught, tackle avoided. Look at Robinson go all the way to the 44-yard line.
I just want everybody to remember these are NFL defensive players that are trying to tackle him. He reminds me of the kid in recess that's in 5th or 6th grade and nobody can tackle him. That's what Bijan Robinson is. I mean, again, another guy slips, but here's another guy in the open field. He has no chance.
The whole offense is Robinson and Pitts. And that ball is loose. And the Bucs, for the moment, will have it. Jacob Parrish comes away with the ball. Put Robinson out wide. Come over here. This is Robinson. And 3rd down 3. Cousins throws, caught. There he is, the wide receiver skills of Robinson in evidence right there. 12.5 left. Robinson to the outside. On the ground. To the outside. Into the end zone. Bijan Robinson for the touchdown. So Robinson puts it in. And all of a sudden, a 14-point game is on the cusp of going to 7.
In this team, what do they still want to go out and compete? We've seen that on display this entire game. Good job of setting the edge there, and good vision and patience there by Bijan Robinson to bounce that to get it outside.
Bijan Robinson now 15 carries, 76 yards. Came into the game averaging 5 yards per carry, and that's his average so far tonight. 8:22 in regulation. They get the ball to the Falcons at the 33-yard line, breaking free. Here he goes again. Down the sideline, picks up about.
He's reacting to this block right here by Jake Matthews. He thinks he might take it outside, foot in the ground, gets north and south. You know, again, you can just say that's him just being instinctive and a great runner. Of course that is, but I'm telling you, he was more of an inside zone.
He's got Bijan Robinson behind him, the Arizona native. Robinson playing here for the second time. His opening carry looks a lot like that high school footage at South Point Catholic. He just ran through kids there. It's a gain of 9. Bijan Robinson, his former teammate with the Falcons, said that. Little hesitation, and then he just becomes a bulldozer for a couple yards and a first down into this Cardinals defense. After another first down incompletion, they will spit it out for Robinson. Bijan Robinson on the swing pass, coming off a career-high 8 catches against the Buccaneers. 14 years in the NFL, and you talk about formative ages as Cousins goes off play action, and he'll drop it off. Catch and run for Robinson. What balance! That is an outrageous run to square his hips.
Well, I don't know how the Cardinals, too, lose him in coverage. Zaven Collins is kind of protecting the edge. He sees Bijan Robinson leak out, and then it's just all Robinson. The open field.
But to catch and turn so smoothly on the ball placement there, Brady, that's elite stuff. Right back to him. Robinson explodes to the 13.
But just look at the acceleration.
One of those high-level traits. See if they feed him again, maybe out of the backfield. Yes, indeed. Catch and run. Robinson is gone. Arizona's native son scores against the Cardinals.
Just a simple swing screen. These guys are going to create traffic. Bijan is going to find space. When he finds space, he usually finds the end zone. Great game planning by offensive coordinator Zach Robinson. It helps, too, when you have Bijan Robinson on your team.
I mean,
football.
He had 114 total touchdowns as a Lancer at South Point Catholic. Second down, Robinson the motion man. Bijan Robinson flowing with the play. Sidestep twice and a first down.
Look at the play design. You have Algier in the backfield. He's going to end up being a lead blocker. Robinson feels the flow, the defense overflowing, and makes the cutback. And Calais Campbell almost getting in the way of his own players there.
You could feel the admiration. The motion from Warner. It's Robinson again. He sees 2 on the edge and ran away from Johnson. It's a loss of 6 on the play to set up 2nd and 16. Cousins to Robinson. Bijan Robinson running behind Lindstrom. Robinson explosive again to pick up 15.
With 2nd and long in that scenario, you just want to find an easy completion that gets you back in 3rd and manageable. But take a look at number 6. Lowest field goal percentage in the NFL for those qualifying.
Play action for Cousins. And he'll throw Robinson open. Bijan Robinson breaks a tackle for 9. Right back there. Stretch play. Robinson breaks free. Changing direction and now on the gas pedal for a first down. He has just become the 3rd Falcon ever to have 2,000 yards from scrimmage in a season.
I mean, watch how smooth this is. It's like he doesn't even break stride. And it's change of direction, a quick little jump cut, and he's out the back door.
It's like liquid. It's like watching liquid run.
That's one way of putting it.
Cousins swinging out wide. Robinson, secure hands on the catch and a first down. He put the shoulder into Denzel Burke. Out of the bunch, Robinson is over there. Throw it his direction. Robinson behind Pitts, and he is going to be about a yard short.
Yeah, and you can tell watching him, Joe, that he is much healthier than he was a year ago.
Looked like maybe a false start that the Falcons just got away with, and Bijan Robinson over the left side gets 5. Who is about as gentlemanly and as benign with comments and all that. That's about as forcefully as he can say anything. As Robinson on 2nd and 10 with a gain of 8. Here's Robinson right side, finds a crease. And down inside the 5 near the 3, maybe the 2. Third down and goal. Floated. Robinson, touchdown, Atlanta.
Yeah, pretty good job. They moved Bijan Robinson here, and then out here there's so much attention paid to Drake London as he's coming off the ball. And Bijan comes up the field. He works across against that zone look. Cousins has to hang in the pocket. Byron Young was barreling down on him, and he just lays it out perfectly. Snuff out the first down.
On second down and 6, here's Bijan Robinson as they set up a screen. So good with room in front, and he's got a first down.
The other part of that is Xavier Watts in this year's draft, and he's a promising player.
Here's Robinson, right side. Nice cutback. He's gone. Can anybody catch him?
Not tonight.
McCreary chasing. Won't get there. Touchdown, Atlanta. 93 yards. And they hand to Bijan Robinson. He turned on the Jets. Roger McCreary could not get there. And it's 21-0. Falcons on top. He had an Atlanta Falcons record 93-yard run for the touchdown the first half. Breaks a tackle, and there he goes. Down inside the 41 tonight. Jared Verse couldn't bring him down, and then Bijan took care of the rest.
Hey, I'll just let the pictures tell the story. I mean, sometimes you don't even have to talk.
They just get it away. You heard Cousins say we got to go. They go right back to number 7. He gets a block from his Pro Bowl right guard, Chris Lindstrom. 6'3", 278, landing on 37-year-old Kirk Cousins. Play action from Cousins. Here's Robinson. Caught it on his hip, broke a tackle, and then gets stood up inches inside the 30. Second down and 2. Robinson just picked up the first down by himself. He made an impact and changed the tenor of what we're watching. Here's a nice catch by Bijan Robinson, which brings me to this. Watts with a 2-interception game. He had 2 games with multiple picks while at Notre Dame. It was 21-zip. It's 24-24. 2 minutes to go. 6 total timeouts on the board. Here's Robinson.
Trying to take some time off this clock, but they're knocking on the door at least being able to get in field goal range.
Bijan Robinson starts, stops, hits the Jets. You have to think one's coming after this play. Robinson. First down plus. Got a good block from Tyler Algier.
3rd and 15. Cousins will dump it off to Bijan Robinson. Nice move. And he's down to the 35, and they'll spot him around the 33. It will be a 4th down call. Jonah Williams.
Quickly, you'd love to see Mooney turn that up and get the first down.
3rd and a yard, that's all they need, and Robinson will get it with ease. For Granderson, also the interception and involved in a sack. Straight ahead, bouncing around and making something happen is Robinson as he crosses midfield. Work so well together as teammates in the backfield together. It's Bijan Robinson and gliding his way for a first down and a strong pickup to the 25.
I just watch Bijan's feet. Just check him out. The patience. Watch these feet work together. Bam. He's wham right there. But look.
But they will have a winning attitude as Cousins drops back on first down of the what was looking like a screen setup was smothered out. Robinson, as soon as he got the ball.
Kirk Cousins is going to push this ball down the field, see if he can get a first down and start rolling.
From the pocket, he will float it to Bijan Robinson, who gets out of bounds. That saves some time. 20 yards. Even at his speed, no disrespect, but they'll just run the half out. You never know with Bijan Robinson. And a touchdown called back on a hold earlier in this game. Robinson with the carry, just 43 scrimmage yards so far today. Picks up a few more there.